Okay, so today I'm here with Brantlee Underhill, PMI's Chief Community Officer. So for those who don't know Brantlee, I'll give you some words about her. She's been with PMI for 25 years and serving in various leadership roles, and nowadays as Chief Community Officer. And one interesting fact is she has a CAPM certification, so she is know exactly what we are talking about and is in principle part of our community. So Brantlee is actually responsible for fostering PMI's greatest assets, and that's, as I said, our community. And you as volunteers are a pivotal part of that. So today, Brantlee and I will discuss a little bit more about what community means, what the future holds for the community, and what the role of chapters is. But before I do that, a little bit of a fun fact. So many of you know that the Germany chapter was just founded 3 years ago, and Brantlee and myself were the two persons who signed ultimately the charter agreement between PMI and the Germany chapter, which is in principle the foundational document of everything we are doing here. So it's just not by coincidence that we are talking with Brantlee today, because she is just the right person. And give the word to you, Brantlee.
Well, thank you, Andreas. Really appreciate the time to spend with you today. And I was really excited to be able to come to your PM Summit in Frankfurt in September. What a beautiful set of days and a wonderful location. So it was really great to be with you in the community. And thank you for everyone that came out to that event. And if you didn't, you definitely want to do it next time around.
Lovely, lovely. So I guess every fifth word we've been talking about was community.
Hmm.
So, and community is not something which is new to PMI, but your role is new. So PMI has
Hmm.
now a chief community officer. So tell us something about it. What does it exactly mean for us?
Yeah, it's really exciting because PMI is the home of project professionals and aspiring professionals and aspiring project professionals. And that's how we define our community at PMI. And we empower all of these professionals to maximize project success, to elevate our world. And our community plays a really big role in being able to make that happen. So, our community, like just to talk about the numbers a bit, in the end of November, we passed 700,000 members at PMI. This is really amazing. We have more than 1.5 million certified credential holders, almost 12,000 volunteers, which is huge. Like, that's the size of some organizations. And all of these individuals in their daily work are dedicated to delivering important projects and also through their local communities, like PMI chapters, of which PMI Germany is. Our community provides a supportive space for all of these project professionals who want to deepen their knowledge because they can connect with others. And they can do that either in person or through our online community, projectmanagement.com. And the connections also occur at our events. They could be chapter events, like I just mentioned, PM Summit, or maybe PMI Global Summit. All of these events foster continuous learning. People are coming because they're trying to advance their career or sharpen their skills, maybe earn a certification. So when we meet and connect with others, we can find that people are so different, but our challenges can be so similar. And through those exchanges, we develop this sense of belonging with our fellow project professionals. So, in my role as Chief Community Officer, my job is to nurture this community, to help it grow, to increase the engagement within the community. And my team includes a pretty expansive group of people who work on the front line with all of our different community members, like chapters and volunteer engagement, academic programs, so getting out into the academic institutions, working with both the instructors and the professors, but also the students that they are guiding through their educational career. We have our online community, which I mentioned, projectmanagement.com. We have the events team that puts together all of the PMI events globally and regionally. Membership, of course. So then lastly, a a very important part of this is our social and community impact initiative. So if you think about PMI's Educational Foundation, which is the philanthropic arm of PMI, or our Hours for Impact program. So we have a team there that is dedicated to helping not only individuals, but helping the chapters and groups of our communities be able to impose greater impact in the work that they do every day. So I like to say that people come to PMI and they come to the community for the knowledge, but they stay for the belonging. Once they realize what PMI is about and they're able to unlock all these wonderful relationships and connections with others, it's really hard to let go of that, and they keep coming back for more.
Yeah, you're speaking from my heart. I mean, it's just like how I came about PMI, and it has so many different dimensions and facets. It's an incredible universe.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like the universe, I mean, I'm kind of a scientist. So universe is like it started with a Big Bang, which is 50 years ago with PMI, seemingly.
Yeah.
But it's expanding. And of course, there was always change. Yeah. So change, we know it's in different dimensions, challenges. So what do you think can we expect to see in the future for our community in front
Yeah,
of us?
it's a great question. I learned very early on in my PMI career that change was the only constant. And, after 25 years, people ask, why do you stay at PMI? I said, because it's always changing. There's always challenges. We're like on the cusp of so many new and exciting things that are happening within this profession. And community is at the center of everything that we do. And as we prepare to roll out a refreshed PMI strategy in 2024, I can assure you of a strong focus and emphasis remaining on our community. So, if we take a look at different parts of our community, we could start with volunteers. The 12,000 volunteers that serve in volunteering to lead our local communities, our local chapters, or they could be individuals that contribute one time. Maybe they write items for PMI certifications, or they contribute to our standards, the PMBOK guide. Like all of these things are developed with the inputs of our volunteers. So volunteers bring this really invaluable experience. They have knowledge and insight from their day to day that they bring into the PMI community. And we continue to find ways and provide these ways for volunteers to share that knowledge. A few examples of this is that we recently launched an online community for artificial intelligence on projectmanagement.com. So it includes discussions and blogs and webinars by project management professionals. Our chapters also led a survey to gather AI insights from the PM community. And our community's also been testing an MVP, a minimal viable product version of an AI powered project management assistant that we call Infinity. And in 2023, in this past year, we also created some exciting things to better connect our volunteers. Like we launched a chapter volunteer resource hub, which enables chapter volunteers to be able to access the tools and training and resources that they need to do their volunteer job. And we also launched a volunteer engagement platform. So if people are looking for a volunteer opportunity at PMI or thinking, oh, like I'm ready to get involved, I'm raising my hand, you go to the VEP, which you can find on PMI.org, that connects to volunteer opportunities. So that's the volunteer side. On the member side, we know that engaged members tend to stay around longer, and we want to expand access to the number of project professionals that engage with PMI and share their knowledge through our chapters. So we've been testing the concept of a single membership, which is combining PMI and chapter membership into one offer. So we've been doing some testing around that, and we actually launched that in India on November 30th. So we're seeing the early results of single membership in India and want to expand that in different places around the globe, slowly testing it through 2024, making sure that we're getting the mix right and continue to expand even beyond 24. If I shift to the online community, we have a very active user base. I noted the AI community, but I also want to touch upon the sustainability community or the sustainability topic because I know that is really near and dear to our European chapters who have done so many great things this year in terms of content and events. And our community can engage online in these conversations. So coming to projectmanagement.com, checking out the sustainability community, and being able to plug in to the local communities and what they're doing around the regions. Credential holders, even aspiring credential holders, can come to the online community or to events because maybe we're trying to help one another earn that PMI certification. And of course, once you earn the certification, you're going to need the PDUs. That can be gained through membership, and membership gives you access to events like PMI Virtual Experience Series or PM Expo. So lots of ways to not only tap into the things that you need to grow your career throughout the entire time that you're in the workforce, but also to obtain those certifications or the knowledge that you need by connecting with others. And if you want to do more, the volunteer engagement platform is the place to be. So a lot of great things happening now that we've done this year and so much more to come.
Okay, great, great. I mean, we have already seen that volunteers obviously play a pivotal role in the community, and I especially like the fact that PMI is not only taking things from the volunteers, accepting it, which is important for the PIMBOK guide and all that stuff, but this giving back, which comes from volunteers, is for me also mirrored and even multiplied by PMI, giving so much back to volunteers, like trainings and yeah, possibilities to engage for social work and stuff like that. So maybe one final question. What is like ultimately the way forward in the sense of behavior of volunteers? I'm kind of alluding a little bit to the culture values, which we heard a lot about in the last limb in Lisbon, which I guess is so important because from my perspective, what is the real objective or the common goal is really yeah, also driven by culture. So can you maybe elaborate a little bit on the culture?
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that you brought that up because our volunteers often say that they get so much out of PMI, so much more than they expected than what they put into it. And I know that our volunteers put in so much to PMI, not only like using their tangible skills, but so much of their heart and emotion into what they do every day. And in 2022, we set out to co-create with our PM community a set of cultural values and behaviors that define how we want to be with one another, how we want to interact with one another, and how we want to grow this community in a positive way. So we have kept the enthusiasm really strong when we created these impactful contributions to stay committed to our cultural values, which are to be welcoming. How do we engage one another and say hello and ensure that we are hearing everybody's voice and giving everyone a chance to speak, embracing curiosity, like what if we just sat back sometimes and explored some other options or hear different points of view, making it easy, like all the time, like this world moves so fast. There's a lot of great technology at our fingertips. How can we reduce redundancies and how can we make things easier to be able to engage with one another? Aim higher. Like we're all striving for the top quality products and offerings to be able to represent ourselves as well as the customers that we serve. And then lastly, together we can, because we know that nothing happens through one single person. And we see this represented every day through, well, I'll use the example of our social impact initiatives and our Hours for Impact program. So, already in 2023, almost 37,000 PMI volunteers have pledged over 665,000 hours of service around activities throughout the globe. I mean, in Germany alone, there's been 200 volunteers that have pledged 2,400 hours, most of them coming from PMI Germany chapter. And our Hours for Impact program is going to shift a bit in 2024. I love when chapters hold activities that allow people to come together and network and work with one another that they maybe never even met one another before, but they're working side by side in a soup kitchen or they're building park benches for their community. But in 2024, we want to focus our Hours for Impact program towards the demonstration of project management skills for social good. And we want to show how these project skills can scale the impact that we have within our local communities, but also globally. And we will do that with partners that we have through PMI Educational Foundation. Some of those partners include F1 in Schools or Junior Achievement Africa or Destination Imagination. There's so much that's happening. Special Olympics. Hopefully, some of you have seen the Special Olympics Ukraine video. So every day, our chapters, our volunteers, and our communities are coming together to show the power and the magic of their project management skills. And that happens because we have a strong set of values that we are all committed to.
So fantastic insights. I mean, you're just sparking. I mean, if we talk about later with the volunteers in our session, I guess we have so much talking points. So thank you very much for your time and these insights. It is so invaluable. So thank you for that, Brantlee.
Oh, and thank you so much, Andreas, and thank you to everyone who's listening. Thanks to all of our volunteers who give so much of their skills and their heart to PMI. We couldn't do it without you, and I'm really excited to see what we can do together in 2024.